What is going on, guys? Justin here with a couple pretty expensive purchases for my collection, so I thought this would make a good video here. And actually both of these purchases came from former YouTubers. So this first box I'm going to show here, the much bigger of the two, came from my buddy Mike. He used to have a YouTube channel called Super Supra 89T, which I think his channel is still active, but he hasn't posted a video in many years. But he got a hold of me on Facebook, let me know that he was looking to sell off some of his collection, and I ended up buying a bunch of boxed Super Nintendo games from him, Sega Genesis, some NES games, and a ton of Game Boy games. So let's dig right into this here with some of the boxed Super Nintendo stuff. I will say that I already had like all but one of these cartridges already, but I didn't have any of these boxes, so these are all essentially condition upgrades for me. So the first one here is Desert Strike Return to the Gulf. And this one was fully complete. I think it even had the poster in there. Box is in pretty nice shape. He said most of these games were his from when he was a kid, so he obviously took pretty good care of his stuff. Next up here, Spin Dizzy Worlds. And I can't remember if this one had the manual or not. Yeah, it looks like it's in there. Kind of a little more uncommon game, I'd say. You know, not expensive by any means, but I've only seen the cartridge a handful of times, so to get it complete in box was awesome. We got Mickey's Ultimate Challenge here. This one, I think it was like a rental or something. The manual has like some rental stickers on it and stuff, but the box is in pretty good shape. Next up here, this one was just cartridge and box, Pilot Wings. I'm surprised I didn't have this box already, actually. So it's not real hard to, I mean, it's a pretty common box to find, but I'll have to track down a manual for that one. This one here, which I already do have complete in box, it's Paperboy 2, and he threw in a few freebie stuff for me, which I'll show at the end, and I'm hoping he meant to throw this in as a freebie, because it wasn't on the list that I sent him, that the games I paid for. So either he threw it in by accident, or it was, he threw it in on purpose. Either way, man, thank you, and I hope it wasn't an accident. So anyway, I do already have that one though. We got Boxing Legends of the Ring here, which I don't know if this one was complete. No, it's just the cartridge and the box. Next up, we got Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. So this is another pretty, I'd say uncommon game. I've had the cartridge for a while, but it's the only one that I've ever had, and so I can't imagine this box is too easy to find. No manual with this one though, so I don't know if I'll ever track one of those down, but maybe someday. The box is in pretty nice shape. Speaking of nice shape, Yoshi's Cookie. And this one is pretty minty. It still has the plastic on the box here. It's just opened on this end. There's a little bit of wear on the corners on that end. But I was shocked actually when he sent me pictures of all this stuff, and I kind of picked through them. And at least my spreadsheet of all my games did not have Yoshi's Cookie on it. And I swear I've owned this cartridge multiple times before. So either I'm getting it mixed up with the NES one, or I do have it and it just wasn't in my spreadsheet. I don't know. I'll have to do some digging on that. But either way, I know I didn't have the box for it. And so to go from, not even having the cartridge potentially to mint in box, that's pretty nice. PGA Tour Golf here. I think this one was complete, but yeah, this is probably just one of those boxes that I'm just going to fold down and store with the rest of my sports boxes, because even though it's in nice shape, it just don't look that good on the shelf. This is a sports one though that'll look good on the shelf. Super Bowling here, which I believe was complete. I don't think I've ever played this one. Super Bowling is one of the two N64 games I still need to complete my collection, but this is Super Bowling on the Super Nintendo, in really nice shape. We got Disney's Goof Troop Capcom box here. This one's pretty worn though. This is probably, this is probably the one that was in the worst shape out of the bunch, but even still, I mean, it's definitely collection worthy. I don't think it had the manual, no, it's just the cartridge in the box, so see if I can complete that one someday. And then these last four Super Nintendo games here, when he sent them to me, were all just cartridge and box, but I actually had the manual for all four of these already, so they're now complete. We got Home Alone, Kevin McAllister, we got Clue. This is a cool one here. Sim Earth, The Living Planet. Don't think I've ever seen this box before. And finally, NCAA Basketball. I'm actually shocked I did not have this box already. But it's now complete, but again, this will probably be one I just fold down, store with my other sports boxes. So that was all the Super Nintendo games. I'll show this too. This is just an empty box, but it is a Super NES control set box, which, I don't know. I don't think, well, maybe I do already have this box. I've got one up here that looks similar. I'll have to compare them and see if they're exactly the same. Either way, I have a system and stuff I can put in here, cords and everything. I might have to track down like a, system manual or something, but I should be able to complete this one. And if I don't have it, it'll go up with the rest of my systems. And if I do, then I'll figure out something to do with it. So that was all the Super Nintendo stuff. While I'm showing systems, though, I might as well show this here. This was not an empty box. So this is a boxed Model 1 Sega Genesis. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, if you can see up here, there's a sticker, and it is just a sticker on the corner of the box, but it's a refurb system. So it says refurbished or remanufactured and 100% inspected by Sega of America. Manufacturer's original limited warranty applies. So, he told me that it was a refurb box and sent me pictures of it, and initially I was kind of like, I don't really collect like refurb stuff, but this is kind of unique. I mean, back in the day when, Sega, I think Nintendo did the same thing. Actually, they fixed their own systems. So whether it was under warranty and someone sent it in, or, I don't know when the sticker got placed on there, but it's kind of cool. And what was really bizarre is I'll show a picture of the inside of it here. And I've never owned a box Model 1 Genesis, so I don't know what the cardboard insert originally looked like, but there's no way it was this. It's just like weird white boxing that opens from the middle, and there's no like designated spot for the system to sit to hold it in place. It just kind of sits loose in that side of the box there. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I've never had one, but someone can drop a comment and let me know if you have a box Model 1 and that's what it originally came with or not, or if that was just something they did with the reverb systems. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to hang on to this. I don't have one, and assuming the system works and everything, I think that'll be kind of a unique piece for the collection. So let's move on next to the NES games I got from him. There was just 3 of them here, but the first one is Alien Syndrome. It's a Tengen game that I didn't have yet, so add that one to the collection. I also didn't have this one, and I got it cartridge and box here. Sesame Street Countdown. So see if I can track down a manual for this at some point. I don't think I've ever even seen the game before, so I have to think it's a little bit uncommon. Just, it's Sesame Street, so not super expensive or anything. It says the Count talks to your child on the top corner there. It's kind of creepy. And the last one here is Dance Aerobics. Wow. I already had the cartridge, obviously. I didn't have the box for it, though. There's no manual in here, but shouldn't be that hard to track down a manual for that one. So let's move on next to, well, I guess the Game Boy stuff. And I guess I should explain real quick kind of how this went down. I don't think he's going to care too much if I say, what I paid him for everything. So everything I just showed, I was going to pay him $280 for, which is like way more than I would normally offer for, if I found this stuff at a garage sale or something, on Facebook or something like that. But being that it was all stuff for my collection, I didn't mind paying a little bit of a premium on it. And actually, it was actually a pretty good deal that it gave me. He shipped it to me for free and everything, so the price was very fair, I thought. So it was going to be $280 for that, and then he told me he had a bunch of Game Boy and PS1 stuff he was also looking to sell. And he sent me pictures. The PS1 stuff was, I'm pretty picky about what I collect for the PS1. If you guys watch the room tour, I don't collect everything for the PS1. And all the stuff that he had that I would want, I either already had, or it's just I wasn't going to keep it for my collection. So there's no point in me making an offer on it. But the Game Boy stuff he had like 100 Game Boy games, and there was quite a few of them that I needed. So I told him, if you're looking to get rid of all of them, we can make it even 400 for everything. Or I could just pick out the ones that I need, and he was cool with the 400 for everything. So for an extra $120, I got a ton of Game Boy stuff. So I'm going to show these ones individually here. These are the ones that I for sure needed for my collection, and then the rest of them I'm just going to kind of pan over. There was some decent stuff in there that I already had, and I'm sure there's like some condition upgrades and stuff in there for me. But these are the ones I for sure did not have yet. Sneaky Snakes, which I actually have the box for this. I've been after this game for a few months now, because I have the box for it, but I didn't have a cartridge. So I'll have to see if I can try and track down a manual. I would like to complete it, but cartridge and box is good for now. Animaniacs here. This one, which is kind of cool, I've never seen it before. Altered Space, a 3D alien adventure. Battletoads in Ragnarok's world. Now, I had no idea that this game even existed. So I think I have the 2 other Battletoads games for the Game Boy. I mean, there was the first Battletoads, and I think Battletoads Double Dragon came out on the Game Boy as well. And then this one, which I'm assuming is the 3rd one, but it might be the 2nd one. I have no idea because I've never seen it before. I mean, it doesn't look like it's real expensive or anything, but I'd like to think it's pretty uncommon. I've never even seen it before, so that was awesome to get. Arcade Classics 1, Asteroids Missile Command. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, also on the Super Nintendo. Q*bert for Game Boy, it says on there, for Game Boy, in case you didn't know that. Battle Unit Zeoth, Jaleco game. Tiny Toon Babs's Big Break, or Tiny Toon Adventures rather. Babs's Big Break, didn't have that one. And Riddick Bowie Boxing. Or is it Bo? Riddick Bowe or Bowie Boxing? So those are the ones that I for sure needed. There was a ton of other ones though, so I'll put up a picture and pan over them here. I mean, there's some decent stuff in there. You know, there's a Metroid 2 in there. There was Castlevania was in there. Mostly original Game Boy games, but there was some Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games mixed in here as well. So I think I got a pretty good deal on those too. You know, for an extra $120. I'm happy because I got quite a few of them for my collection. So finally here, I'll just show a few more of the freebies that he sent me. I already showed that Paperboy 2, but he also sent for Super Nintendo a Super Link by BPS. It's like a multi-tap for the Super Nintendo. And a couple PS2 games, Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure and Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. So I want to say thank you to Mike again for the freebies, but just for getting a hold of me in the first place and giving me the opportunity to buy a bunch of this nice stuff for my collection. I've got quite a bit of work to do now, getting these in protectors and stuff and up on the shelf. But yeah, thanks to Mike for that. And then moving on to the next deal that I did with another former YouTuber. This one was from Sam. He used to post video game videos on the Survival Review channel. And he hit me up on Facebook, I think it was the same night actually that Mike had hit me up. And he let me know that he had something that he knew that I needed, that I've been after for a while. I don't know if he saw it in the room tour recently or just knew that, from that I've been looking for it. But he hit me up and let me know that he had, I'll show this to you guys, a Mega Man X3 manual here. So if you guys watched the room tour, or I think it was a few summers ago now, where I actually got the game cartridge and box for $1 at a garage sale. I did not have the manual. I didn't think I'd ever be able to find one or have the opportunity to buy just the manual for it to complete it. But here it is. So this one's not in perfect shape. It's got some wear on the corners and along the spine and stuff. But my box isn't perfect either. So I felt this was a good fit for the box to complete it. And so he gave me a pretty good deal on it. I paid him $80 for it, which I told myself I was never going to pay that much for a game manual. But, I mean, that's actually a pretty good deal. I mean, I can't see myself ever having the opportunity to buy just the manual again for under $100. And he was also nice enough to throw in a few freebies for me. He had sent me a list of everything that he had, and there was just a couple things on there that I asked him how much he wanted for them, and he was nice enough to just include them for the $80. American Gladiators manual. I have the box and cartridge for this, but I didn't have a manual, so that one's complete now. And one NES game, Raid on Bungling Bay, 5-screw game here. Not one that's real uncommon or hard to find or expensive or anything. I just didn't have it, so that'll be going in the collection as well. So thank you to Sam for getting a hold of me, letting me know, giving me first dibs on that X3 manual. I definitely appreciate it. It went to a good home. So that's going to do it for this video. I guess updates real quick. We have another video game show scheduled for December 2nd, I believe. That's Sunday there. And this one's more, it's not like a record show. This one's more like a flea market style show. So there's going to be all kinds of different stuff there. But we are going to have a couple tables, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a ton of information on it yet, but I guess we're gonna have a couple tables, and we're gonna be, you know, there selling some extra game stuff. So I'll probably do a video for that. I think the last video I did where we were selling at the record show did really well. People seem to enjoy that, so I'll plan to make a video for that as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a video between now and then. Just this time of year always slows down for pickups, so we'll see. I mean, I'm always looking, so you never know, but I might not have another video until like the first week of December. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for sticking around, checking out this whole video, and until next time, take care.